Hello, quackers and quackettes, and welcome to the last hurrah of the non-HD AMX 40, because as of yesterday, at least on the EU server, it is now completely HD and glorious and wonderful and amazing and OP as it ever was, which is to say, not very. Now, I could go on and on about the downsides of the AMX 40, but I'm not really sure that you need me to. Suffice it to say, even when it's top tier, it isn't exactly a brilliant tank, but hey, it's cute, right? It's got that going for it, so that'll carry you through, definitely. I would even go so far to say as that it's the cutest tank in the game, and I will indeed challenge anyone to manly fisticuffs who has a different point of view, except then, you know, I'm sure I'd have to fight Jingles, who would contend it's the looks. And I don't really want to fight Jingles because, well, I'm sure he fights dirty. In fact, I'm certain that he fights dirty, so yeah. Anyway, I contend that it's cute though, anyway. So this is PointyHairedJedi, who is using the stock ball turret and the 47mm gun. And to say the stock turret is to not quite give an accurate impression. It is in fact the turret that they mocked this thing up with. The top turret, the Renault Balland turret I believe it is, isn't actually a turret it was planned to have. It's just one of Wargaming's little fantasies. Now they could give this a much nicer 47mm. The SARL, the Crested Duck, the tier 4 medium, does have a high penetration 47mm that doesn't actually come with premium ammo. That's the downside. In fact, does it have HE? It might just be AP, although I might be making that up. I can't remember, it's been a while since I've played that. But you can literally just give that gun to the AMX 40 and it would fix quite a few of the problems this machine has. But in this case, well, PointyHairedJedi at least is top tier. But even top tier, this particular 47mm gun needs a butt ton of APCR to work. Like this headset, I'm not actually sure he's got much of a chance of penning frontally unless he gets a high roll with the APCR, because I was actually playing this myself on patch day. You might have seen the live stream VOD, and I had a game in it where I did go with the 47mm and the ball turret, which is actually a slightly bouncier turret, but it was an expensive experience, I'll put it that way. It does have some advantages, this gun, though. I mean, the rate of fire, therefore the DPM, is a lot better than the 75mm, and I think it also has better accuracy, certainly better aim time, much better gun depression. In fact, has a ridiculous amount of gun depression. Whoa, careful, PointyHairedJedi. Almost came a cropper there. But it really does still have absolutely terrible penetration, even so. But when you're top tier, it's not so bad. It's when you get tier 5 and tier 6 games that the 47mm is going to be almost unworkable. So that is a top gun already, 1272 damage done, with 600 damage bounced. When you're top tier, the armour does still kind of count for something. And you can sort of excuse the fact that it is horribly slow. It's horribly slow, but at least it's decently well armoured. Although, having said that, there's still plenty of things around that can punch through that armour these days. And even some same tier tanks, not even tank destroyers, but same tier tanks that can take, you know, half of your hit points in one go and will have no trouble penetrating through your armour. So it's not even quite as good as it used to be in that regard, but as we're seeing here, it does hold up against some enemies. I mean, if you meet a Panzer 1C, for example, or quite a few of the other tier 3s, in fact, you can pretty much just laugh in their faces up until the point where they start loading premium ammo and pen you anyway. So that's that T29 down, that's kill number 9. There are quite a few T29s down when you're playing tier 4, as I discovered when I was streaming today. More than I would have thought, and I don't really know why. It's not like it's a particularly good gift tank, but there it is. There were more than a few of them around. They are steaming rapidly towards victory at this point, by the way, as you may have noticed. This is an assault game and they are on the defending team, so the onus was on the enemy team to actually push in anyway. And instead, Corpen's team has just absolutely gone on the offensive. So, yeah, I don't think they should have too much difficulty winning at this point. Now this Hetzer, I mean, earlier on he did pen a Hetzer frontally, but this Hetzer is a bit more hull down, so he's going to have to expose more of his tank to do any damage here. The upper front plate is just a non-starter. The lower front plate, on the other hand, well, with the APCR he can punch through, but it's not exactly reliable, so his best bet is actually to try and go round. And the Hetzer's letting it happen. Doesn't need to. The Hetzer's actually got a pretty decent hull traverse, but the Hetzer just kind of sat stationary and let him do it. So there we are. So anyway, Corpin actually forms a platoon, an in-game platoon with, or is trying to form an in-game platoon with some of the surviving people, because of course he can actually get some extra medals that way. They both can, so why not? You might have noticed there's also just artillery left at this point, but artillery has also shaved off a significant chunk of his remaining hit points. I think he mentioned, he was actually watching the stream today, well, today as I'm recording, he actually mentioned he's got a spawn liner on this, so without a spawn liner that might have been enough to kill him, but as it is, he's survived with 12 hit points and a damaged engine, which is never very nice, and that got him an ace tanker, so that was, what, almost 1700 damage. Steel wall, he got a Spartan, he got a Top Gun, he got two of the, in fact, the, what was that, Brothers in Arms, and Crucial Contribution, there we go, because they had, what, 13 kills between them? Yeah, him and the Swedish tier 4, so, I mean, obviously, far in advance of anyone else on the team, like the bottom half of each team really didn't do a lot, but that's kind of par for the course. He also didn't have to face the toughest opponent on the enemy team, which was that Matilda. You never want to meet a Matilda in an AMX 40. Once upon a time, before the Brits came along, you know, the toughest, most heavily armed tier 4 that you could meet was another AMX 40, and it was actually quite difficult for two AMX 40s to pen each other, at least with standard ammo. But these days, when you've got the Matilda running around, when you've got some of the other tanks with good guns running around, I think the Japanese tier 4, the Lago, I don't know how you say it, you know, that's got a decent gun. There's some of the premiums, the T28 F30, the regular T28 with a 57mm. All of these represent a serious threat, and at least the T28s, you can pen them very easily in return. In fact, most of them you can pen easily in return. It's just a matter of, is your gun going to behave? Well, depending on which gun you're using, of course. This one's definitely the more reliable hitter, but the penetration's terrible. Like, the APCR pen with a 47mm is just about what you get with the AP penetration with the 75mm, except the 75mm's AP penetration is still bad. The heat penetration with the 75mm is just about what the M3 Lee gets with its regular AP shells. So your premium ammo is only just about as good as some of your contemporaries' regular ammo, and that's the best gun that you get. So yeah, the AMX-40 is still very much in need of some love, but at least the HD model looks nice, I suppose. So that's it for this replay, short and sweet, and hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you did, you can leave any comments below, you can hit the like button, you can sub to my channel if you haven't already, and as always, stay tuned for more.